payable income tax, right? So if I am crossing 50 lakhs rupees of worth of goods, then she needs to deduct 0.01% as TCS. She needs to collect the tax at source itself and deposit it to the government. Now TDS is on the final income. TDS, because Sachin Tendulkar is not dealing in any services or in any goods or services. He's just playing, he's getting the salary. I am just teaching and I will get the salary. Right? We are not dealing in goods. But TCS primarily depends on the business. TCS tax is primarily on the business. So it normally it's been levied on the goods transfer. So what is the rule? If the amount of goods are crossing 50 lakh rupees in a financial year, then the seller, whose duty is it? Seller's duty is to deduct 0.01% on every invoice that is generated. Kitna? 0.10. 0.10% of the invoice. So now let's get back to our invoice. They are deducting or they are putting IGST. If the manufacturer is selling me to IGST, CES, BED, NCCD and TCS. Should I confuse you more? करूँ एक और छोटा सा? From 1st April 2025, government is scrapping TCS on this goods wall. 194Q है वो section in income tax law. So what now government is saying is, and this law was there previously also, what now they are saying is, when she is selling the goods to me, is it I am earning profit or she is earning profit?
Manufacturer.
Primarily she is earning. Later on when I will sell, I will also earn. But primarily who is earning profit?
Manufacturer.
So now what government is saying is, not let her to collect tax. Let me collect tax from her. Till now what is happening? She is collecting TCS. But from now on, I should deduct TDS. What should I deduct?
TDS.
I should deduct TDS. When I will deduct the TDS? When I am paying her the amount of the goods. अभी 50 लाख से ऊपर उन्होंने मेरे को बेच दिए. She has sold me the goods worth more than 50 lakhs to me. Till that time I am sending a 50 lakh rupees amount, it is okay. Once I cross this 50 lakhs, whatever amount I am sending it to her, that is part of your income or goods का income है. On top of that, whatever amount I am sending to her, in that amount I should deduct 0.10% as TDS, deduct from her, pay it to the government under her plan. This happens when you are not in the class. I heard you went for NCC. It's not your fault. But later on, if there is possibility, I will teach you separately. Same for you. But this is the concept that I told today only. So they are on the same platform as you are. Okay? Sure. So these are the kinds of taxes we have under. So let's see the slab rates. As I told you day before, salt is
Exempt at 0% tax.
Right? So there are many items which government has kept as exempted. Government is saying no, we will not put any tax on them. For example, sanitary napkins, there is no tax on that. Salt, there is no tax on that. There are some precious good items on which 1% is there or 0.1. It depends, definitely depends on item to item. And there are lakhs of items in the market. So whichever item you are dealing in, please check in the GST law. Your item is falling under what tax slab. As simple as that. So basically, normally, the most common tax slab is exempted 1%, 0.25%, then 5%, 12%, 18%, 28%. These are the common tax slabs. But still, Finance Minister is thinking of merging these tax slabs into one or two tax slabs for better or easy working. So they might increase 5% wala to 12 or to 28 or 14 or 18, or they may decrease 18 to 5 and put this as 3 or 4 slabs. Okay? But this is, as I told you, GST is a very dynamic subject. It will keep on changing. Next. how to calculate tally. This I will show you later. Let's go back to our tally. Tally में should we do practical or should we do theory first? Theory कर लेंगे. History of. Who all have seen Chow film? Chow. How is it? Right. Why do we need to see Chow type of film movies?
To know our history.
If you know the history, then you will feel proud of yourself and you will know frame from where they are coming, so that presently you can understand it and you can gauge the future of that particular thing. Right? In the same way, if you read anything or try to learn anything, try to learn about the history of that as well. Right? So this is the history of Tally. Tally started in the year 1990. The first version was 4.5, which was compatible with MS-DOS. Do you know MS-DOS पहले था? MS-DOS था, not this office. फिर उसके बाद they introduced 5.4 in 1996 and it was on graphic interface. Then 6.3 came in 2001 and it was based on Windows with VAT was there. VAT I told you value addition tax, so it was supporting VAT and there was option of printing as well. Then 7.2 was the Tally when I started working on it. I started working with 7.2. It came in 2005. Then they moved to 8.1 where they also introduced this payroll. And then 9 came in 2006. Right? And 9 was the lucky number for Tally. That's the reason they didn't release 10. They said 9, 9.1, 9.2, 9.3, 9.4, 9.5. And then they moved to ERP. Right? So in 2006 they introduced it, and then if you can read out there, this version has maximum features such as TDS. I told you, right? EBT, payroll, ETDS, right? Filing, etc. Then the latest version was 2009 when introduced ERP 9. So what you are seeing on your systems, ERP 9 was introduced in 9, and then still they keep on evolving it with GST and all, right? And now what is the latest version we are working on?
Tally Prime.
This was launched in
18
November
2020.
चलो हो गया. So let us see the basic or the differences between Tally Prime and Okay, the basic differences between ERP and Tally Prime. So what was the first? See, I'll definitely tell you about this e-invoice and e-waybill. This is part of your GST and I will take you through as we go on, right? So in ERP, you will not be able to use or prepare this e-invoice. Just to give you a glimpse, if the turnover of the business is crossing certain limit in a financial year, then apart from the invoice that you prepare on your software, you have to also prepare an invoice electronically on government website. That invoice is called e-invoice, which is electronic invoice. I will tell you more about it when we get into that stuff. Then e-waybill, also in ERP, e-waybill facility is not there. However, in Tally Prime, e-waybill you can generate from your Tally itself. Right? So just to tell you about e-waybill, e-waybill is nothing but when the goods are moving from one place to another place, if the value of the goods is more than certain limit, which is 50,000 as of now, if the value of the goods moving from one place to another place is more than 50,000, then apart from your software bill or your invoice, you have to also prepare a way bill. Way is in the way it is moving, right? So prepare a electronic way bill, wherein you will say that this item, the value this contains this, is moving from this location to that location in this vehicle. and that is valid for only certain period. Okay, so this facility was not there in ERP and it is there in Prime. Then audit trial, digital signature. Everybody knows about digital signature.
Yes, sir.
Then online GST and HN